they're shooting up themselves upstairs. Anyways, uh, the authority and independence that they have to enforce their own laws instead of taking this authority to the federal level, which would strip them of their own autonomy, of their own independence to enforce the laws that they are passing. I ask all my representatives thinking in their sense of federalism to please vote nay on this resolution. Thank you very much. I yield.
Okay. The gentleman yields. The gentleman from Michigan is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, what is the remainder of our time?
The gentleman from Michigan has 1 minute and 59 seconds remaining.
Alrighty. Members of the House of Representatives, the bill before you today, VX, get the hell out of my chair. The bill before you today will not only usurp the authority of our great city of DC, but this will give it to a political appointee of the President of the United States rather than the mayor that the people of the District of Columbia has elected. This bill would usurp the charter of the District of Columbia that was passed by the Congress. This is something that almost happened during the George Godsend administration if Congress thankfully blocked. Are we seriously no better than the former president who has been banned? Thank you. I give the remainder of my time back to the chair.
Okay. The gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Texas, Mr. Gabe Zilla, is recognized. Okay. The gentleman yields back. The question is now on the bill, H.R. 2, the DC Prosecutions Authority Act of 2024. All those in favor say aye. Okay. The gentleman from Missouri will suspend. The House will be in order. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The bill is passed. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is considered laid upon the table. I just want to, just for the future, if any members would like a recorded vote, all they need to do is ask for one if they don't agree with the chair's ruling on the voice vote.
Mr. Speaker, I motion for a recorded vote.
Okay. A recorded vote is requested. All those in favor of a recorded vote shall rise. A sufficient number having risen, a recorded vote is ordered. Members will cast their vote by electronic device. This is a 1-minute vote. The gentleman from Missouri will suspend. The sergeant at arms will present the mace to the gentleman from Missouri. Oh, I'm sorry. The system is very laggy. Let me try that again. Wait, didn't record in the journal? Okay, it did record in the journal, but we're gonna
Mr. Speaker,
we're gonna do that again.
I would ask that the chair designate the sergeant at arms for. I'm sorry. I would request that the chair admonish the sergeant of arms for his language against the representative from Missouri.
The sergeant at arms will suspend and report to the dais where he shall stand post next to the mace. All right. Without objection, the chair is going to issue another vote because it lagged and shut off before everyone could vote. So let me try that again. the button once. There we go. Okay. On this vote, the ayes are 8, the nays are 4, present is 1. The bill is passed. Next, all right. The next item on the agenda before the House is HR 3. HR 3. The clerk will report the title of the bill.
To the House of Representatives. Hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. House Resolution 3. Tecnozo Congressional Gold Medal Act. To the Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Pursuant to the adoption of HRES 6, the Speaker and the Minority Leader will each control 5 minutes of debate. All amendments and points of order are raised, following which the House shall consider its adoption. Consider the bill's passage. Would any members of the chair designates the Honorable VXWJ Majority Leader and gentleman from the state of New Jersey to control the Speaker's time. The gentleman from New Jersey is recognized for 5 minutes. The gentleman from New Jersey is 5 minutes on debate. That's you, VXWJ. Yes, I'm aware. Okay. All right. The gentleman from Texas is given the 5 minutes to control. Mr. Gabezilla. Okay. Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Missouri, the gentleman from Michigan, Mr. Palpatine, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, we yield the remainder of our time back to the chair.
Gentleman yields. The question before the House is now on the passage of the bill, HR 3, the Tecnozo Congressional Gold Medal Act of 2024. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The bill is passed. The motion to reconsider is considered made and laid upon the table. The final agenda of the
Mr.
night.
Speaker,
Yes, the gentleman from Florida is recognized. For what purpose does he seek recognition?
I motion for this vote to be electronically recorded so this vote can be preserved and the job of the clerk to make a House summary session will be easier.
Okay. The chair will consider that as a request for a recorded vote.
Yes.
Member has made a request for a recorded vote. All those in favor of a recorded vote shall rise. Sufficient number having risen, recorded vote is ordered. Okay, I'll give you the time, VXW. Hold on. Let's finish the vote first, and then I'll give you the time. Okay. All right. On this vote, the ayes are 9, the nays are 0. That objection, the ayes are 10, the nays are 0. The bill is passed without objection. The motion to reconsider is considered laid upon the table.
Mr. Speaker,
The gentleman from Michigan is recognized. Or for what purpose does the gentleman from Michigan seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, those who have been previously removed from the House chamber have re-entered along with the United States Capitol Police.
The Sergeant at Arms is directed to lead the Capitol Police to remove all persons not members of the House, nor the President or members of the media from the House floor. Final agenda of the night, and the one why I'm sure most of you are here for. HJ Res 1. The House will now consider House Joint Resolution 1. The clerk will report the title of the joint resolution.
To the House of Representatives, Judicial Resolution 1, proposed by Arthur Chen, authorization for use of military force. To Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Pursuant to the House's adoption of HRes 6, the Speaker and Minority Leader shall each control 5 minutes. All amendments and points of order on the joint resolution are made, after which the House shall consider its adoption. The Sergeant at Arms will restore order on the floor and arrest and remove the senator who is protesting. Thank you. This is HJRES 1. The gentleman from New Jersey, Mr. VXWJ, is recognized to control the speaker's time and was recognized for 5 minutes. No, the USCP can stay on the floor. Oh my gosh. The Sergeant at Arms will remove the senator. Do any members of the majority wish to be yielded time by the majority leader? Mr. Majority Leader, are you yielding time to a member or back to the chair? Okay. All right. The gentleman from Michigan, Mr. Palpatine, pursuant to HRes 6, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to yield 1 minute of my time to the representative of Florida, Mr. Gato Gavira.
Gentleman from Florida is recognized for 1 minute.
Representatives, I rise today to ask you all to please vote no on this resolution. My reasoning is simple. At this time, we cannot throw our men, into the grinders of war. This, in my opinion, who I have served previously in other groups as commander-in-chief, in my humble opinion, I do believe that this declaration of war is misguided as and it does not currently have, or we do not have the entire information. The United States should first send advisors, military advisors, to train the Israeli military before we set on another conflict, because we do not need another conflict. We need to train their armed forces to take those paramilitary or guerrillas down. We do not need another war, Mr. Speaker. We need peace. And if we were to go to war, we need to take those steps first. The president should send military advisors down to the Israeli military so they can be prepared. And if that fails, then the military should step in. Because in my opinion, I have not seen anything resembling any military advisors going to the Israeli military Ministry of Defense or the military. And that is a step that needs to be taken so American lives are not lost stupidly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. The gentleman from Michigan is recognized for 4 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the House, as we navigate these turbulent times, it is imperative we remain vigilant about the tactics employed by those in power. I cannot help but draw unsettling parallels between the actions of this administration and this president and the tactics used by the Third Reich. Throughout history, we have seen regimes leverage fear, propaganda, and persecution of political opponents to consolidate power. The systematic silencing of dissent, whether through intimidation, legal threats, or outright violence, should alarm us all. The recent execution of a United States senator by an ally nonetheless, who sought to silence the political enemy of the president, echoes chilling methods used by totalitarian regimes to eliminate opposition. Furthermore, this administration's attempts to manipulate the legal system to target and extradite political adversaries starkly resemble the tactics of authoritarian regimes that seek to undermine democratic processes. The targeting of a leading presidential candidate simply for opposing the current administration is a dangerous precedent that threatens the core of our democracy. We must also consider the role of propaganda in this administration's approach. The relentless messaging aimed at discrediting opponents and demonizing dissenting voices mirrors the proper.
The gentleman is reminded not. The gentleman
suppresses any form of resistance. We cannot afford to ignore these patterns. Duty to uphold justice. We must mobilization.
The gentleman is reminded of the House rules of decorum and conduct and not to engage in personalities against the president. The gentleman is recognized for 33 more seconds to finish his remarks. Okay, looks like the gentleman has departed. So I did not remove. Hey, the sergeant at arms will order the representative from Missouri to sit down. Okay, the gentleman from New Jersey will also take his seat. God. Okay, does the gentleman from Michigan wish to conclude his remarks? The gentleman from Michigan is reminded to not engage in personalities against the president.
Mr. Speaker, it is an offense that we cannot speak on what the matter is before the House. This is a political event. This is a tactic used by the President of the United States to gain support in an election.
The gentleman will suspend. The gentleman will not engage in personalities against the chair or the president. The gentleman's time has expired.
This president is not a member of this House.
The sergeant at arms will direct the gentleman from Michigan to sit down. Good God. Okay. The gentleman from New Jersey, Mr. VXWJ, has 4 minutes remaining. Is the gentleman from New Jersey? How much time are you yielding to this Mr. Fighter Hat? The Secretary of Defense, the Honorable Fighter Hat, is recognized for 4 minutes. Yeah, hold on a second. The gentleman is reminded to direct his remarks to the chair.
A minute. This is not a war where we're throwing people in just for the sake of it, as was pointed out by the gentleman from Florida. USM wants this war. We fought hard to get it. We fought hard to get here. My wearing of this uniform up here tonight is no mistake. I wanted to show you guys I'm not just Secretary of Defense. I am a Reserve Gunnery Sergeant in our Marine Corps. These service stripes below my insignia indicate 8 years of service to NUSA. There has not been a war like this since ever, and we need this for activity. It's perfectly viable for criminals to have criminal activity in NUSA, yet for some reason when the military wants to have activity, it's seen as bad. War is good. War in Roblox is good. It's activity for our military, which, need I remind you, is a significant voting pool for you. It is a significant part of our government. We should be respecting our men and women in uniform and allowing them to go to war and do their duty to this country. Any of you who votes nay because you think this is about the real life conflict or for political reasons that you don't really understand because most of you are not in USM, I condemn you. And I would like to remind you that I am a Medal of Honor recipient. You see this medal around my neck. I'm one of 24. I've been here. I've been to war for NUSA before. This one we can win. We're already winning it. If you'll just let us win it, we'll win it. It's secure victory for NUSA. Not for T-Soups, not for me, not for the Marine Corps.
The gentleman from Missouri will sit down. The Sergeant at Arms will present the mace to the gentleman from Missouri.
I'll answer that, though, if that's okay.
One second. Sorry, the gentleman will suspend. The Sergeant at Arms will detain the senator from Missouri to his chair.
Yeah, so there was no senator killed as far as I'm informed. However, I have seen a video of multiple senators and representatives on the terrorist Up4 team at Erez Crossing shooting at USM. Now, personally, that's activity for us in free target practice, so I don't care. But you don't get to call us out when you're doing shit like that. Respectfully.
The gentleman's time has expired.
Thank you. God bless.
The chair reminds the House that upon unanimous consent, additional debate time given to the speaker or his designee or the minority leader's designee may be entertained. Do any members wish to make such motion before proceeding on the previous question?
Motion, Mr. Speaker, to allow for more debate time.
How much time, Mr. Gentleman? How much time?
5 minutes each.
Is there objection? Without objection, the speaker and his designee and the minority leader or his designee an objection is heard. An objection is heard.
Mr. Speaker, I would like for the objection of the majority leader to be ignored as my motion was heard before his objection.
The motion was heard, but a member raised an objection. Therefore, it is not in the unanimous consent of this House that debate shall continue. Without objection, the previous question is so ordered. The question before the House is now on adoption of
Mr. Speaker, I move to vote on Mr. Gavir's motion.
The gentleman from Florida did not have a sufficient second to his motion.
Mr. Speaker, I am making a motion.
For what purpose? For what is the gentleman from Michigan's motion?
Mr. Speaker, I am making a motion that the House extend debate by 3 minutes to each side.
Okay, hold on, VXW, 1 second. Okay, the gentleman from Michigan made a motion to extend debate by 3 minutes on each side. Is there a second to the gentleman from Michigan's motion? Okay, the gentleman from Florida seconds the motion. All those in favor of agreeing to the gentleman from Michigan's motion to extend debate time by 6 minutes, split evenly between the speaker and his designee, or the minority is his designee, will say aye. Those opposed to the motion to extend debate by 6 minutes divided evenly to those in favor and those against will say no. In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it. The motion is not
Mr.
agreed
Speaker,
to.
recorded vote.
A vote by the yeas and nays is requested. All those in favor of a recorded vote on the motion shall rise. A sufficient number having risen, a recorded vote is ordered. Members will cast their votes by electronic device. This is a 1-minute vote. Okay, on this vote, the ayes are 4, the nays are 7. The motion is not agreed to. The question before the House is now on adoption of the joint resolution. Yeah, we're voting out. All those in favor say aye. The gentleman from Missouri's, no, we're not doing that. Those opposed, the Sergeant at Arms will remove the Secretary of Defense. Those opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The joint resolution is agreed to.
Mr. Speaker, for the purposes of allowing the clerk of the House to have an easier job, I move to request that this vote be electronically recorded.
A member has requested a vote by the yeas and nays. Those in favor of a recorded vote shall rise. A sufficient number having risen, a recorded vote is ordered. Members will cast their votes by electronic device.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to bring up that there has been a technical difficulty. Mr. Vinnick from Missouri cannot cast his vote as his current role in the Congress group is FECC staff, not representative.
The gentleman from Missouri will designate his vote to the minority leader, who shall then make his vote known publicly to the House at the conclusion of the recorded vote. All right, members will make their vote by electronic device. This is a 1-minute vote.
I am unable to currently make my vote in game as my Wi-Fi has decided to cut out, but I would like it to be known that I am voting aye.
Mr. Speaker, the gentlelady is not currently present in the House. Therefore, a vote cannot be counted.
What is the gentleman from Missouri's vote, Mr. Minority Leader?
1 second. His vote is nay, sir.
Okay, the gentleman from Montana's vote is recorded as aye. On this vote, the ayes are 9, the nays are 1, 3 are voting as present. The joint resolution is passed. Pending acceptance by the United States Senate, the Secretary of Defense and the President of the United States are hereby authorized to engage in acts of war against terrorist cells in the Middle East and against our ally, the State of Israel. All right, the House of
I hereby motion to adjourn.
Questions on the motion to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. My PC lagged, but I'm still here.
Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion. What other matters do we have?
What? But the agenda is clean. isn't
Mr.
it?
Speaker, the vote has been already affirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no other items on the agenda, Mr. Speaker. There's no anything.
No, we're doing that in after the session. That doesn't have to be done in open session. Okay. All right. There's no. All right. In the opinion of the chairs, the ayes have it. The motion to adjourn is adopted. The House shall stand adjourn sine die. State of Israel. God bless the United States of America.
President T Soups, who is right with me now, very, very shortly, on that and more. But first, we get the latest on the war from our correspondent.